Good morning, friends. In our chapter number 7, that is dissolution of a partnership firm, today we are going to talk about the methods of dissolution of partnership firm. Dissolution of partnership firm, what we are going to learn? Methods of dissolution of firm. As per Indian Partnership Act 1932, there are two methods for dissolution of partnership firm. One is normal, also known as dissolution without interference of court, and the second one is dissolution by court. Let us take first one, dissolution of normal dissolution or dissolution without interference of court. That says through any of the following methods, partnership can be dissolved without interference of court. The first one is by agreement. When all partners agree to dissolve the firm, partnership firm can be dissolved at any point of time. It is voluntary dissolution. Sometimes this point is asked in one mark question, what is voluntary dissolution? So voluntary dissolution is when all partners agree to dissolve the firm, partnership firm can be dissolved at any point of time. Okay. The second point is dissolution as per contract. Dissolution of partnership firm can be done on the basis of predetermined contract between the partner. If there is predetermined contract between the partner to dissolve the firm, then the firm will be dissolved. The third point, dissolution as per act. According to the act, the following conditions, there is compulsory dissolution of partnership. A, that is first condition is when all partners of the firm becomes insolvent, or except one all partner becomes insolvent. So when all partner or all except one become insolvent, then partnership firm will get dissolved. Okay. Then second, when business of firm becomes illegal, if business start doing some illegal activities, business becomes illegal, it is also known as dissolution of partnership firm. Then the next point is dissolution on happening of certain contingencies. What contingencies? So there are two contingencies, that expiry of term or completion of work. First one, if constituted for the fixed term by the expiry of that term. Suppose partnership is made for a fixed term, so that term will expire, partnership will also get over, that will be dissolution of partnership firm. Second, if partnership is constituted to carry out a specific aim by the completion of thereof. That means if partnership is made for the purpose of some specific aim, means to do some specific task, and as the task will get over, the partnership will also get over. The next point is dissolution by notice. So dissolution by notice is where the partnership is at will. The firm may be dissolved by partner giving notice in writing to all the partners of his intention to dissolve the firm. The firm is dissolved as from the date mentioned in the notice as the date of dissolution, or if no date is so mentioned, as from the date of the service of notice. So friends, here dissolution by notice is that when a partner who wants the firm to be dissolved, he will inform remaining partners, rest of the partners, about his intention to dissolve the firm. Okay, the firm will be dissolved from the date mentioned in the notice for dissolution. If there is no date is mentioned, then the date of service of notice will be considered the date of dissolution. So this was all about the dissolution by without interference of court, that is what normal dissolution. Let us talk about dissolution by court. Following are the points of dissolution by court. The first point is when any partner becomes of unsound mind. A partner becomes of unsound mind the court can dissolve the firm. Second, when a partner becomes permanently incapable of performing his duty as a partner, if if it happens that a partner becomes permanently incapable of doing his duty, performing his duties as a partner, then the court may dissolve the firm. Right? Next, when a partner undertakes misconduct against partnership firm or against business of the firm, suppose a partner start doing something which is not in favor of firm, which is against the partnership firm, so remaining partners can take the help of court to dissolve the firm. Fourth, when a partner willfully and persistently breaches the partnership agreement. Sometimes what happens, any of the partner start breaching the agreement of partnership. So if he is doing it again and again willfully, then rest of the partners can ask for the dissolution through court. Next is when a partner transfers his whole interest in partnership to a third party without the consent of other partner. That means somebody wants to replace himself with some other one, that is he wants to transfer his own share to other person. He needs to take consent of remaining partners. If all the remaining partners are agree, this can be done. If any of the partner is having any issue regarding this will not be done. So without consent of partner, if any partner transfer his whole interest in partnership to third party, then it becomes illegal. That means the partner can ask for the dissolution of partnership firm. Next is when a firm continuously incurs losses and is unable to run a business due to loss. Suppose a firm is continuously every year making loss. Now it is not possible for the firm to continue. The partners can go for the dissolution through court. And the last point is when the court finds any other ground to be just and equitable for dissolution of firm, in that case court may interfere to dissolve the firm. Okay, so this was all about methods of dissolution. And thank you.